you everyone for coming here. Today we have I can call him, of course, my friend Stefan.
Sure.
Stefan is from Austria, right? And
Yes.
He's a JavaScript developer, a full stack developer, not JS, React JS. He also loves running, so it's almost like me. We have the same interest. Yeah, we met some months ago.
Yeah.
How are you, Stefan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Weather is perfect. We are finally talking to each other again, so everything's good.
Yeah. We have to admit one thing. This is the second time that we have
Yes.
we have this call. But the first time I was walking with my phone in my hand, so
Yeah.
it was not the best quality, I think.
And we had to quit because you ran out of battery. I remember you said, "Oh no."
Yeah, but it was just because I loved to talk with you.
Yeah, detail.
This time it's a bit. I think the quality is a bit better, and I love your hat, Stefan.
Thank you very much. I'm a huge fan.
Me too. I watched all the films again with my girlfriends some months ago. During quarantine, so that was very good.
You need some time to watch all of the movies again. There are lots of movies, and I love how it ended. No, not everything, but almost everything.
Let's not do spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Stefan, I'd like you to introduce a bit yourself, maybe for someone who doesn't know you. Who are you? What do you like to do? Everything you want. Yeah.
Okay, so hi guys. I'm Stefan. I'm from Austria, as Francesco mentioned. I'm a developer, and what Francesco asked me to talk about is how I got into development. So I studied business economics at the University of Innsbruck, and during this time, I always had the feeling that software development is something for me. I was always this nerdy geek in every task who tried to find a solution with software to automate things or to make geeky presentations or websites for our tasks. And I was always interested in doing something with software, but studied economics for some reason. I don't know, years later. But at the end, at the end of my study, I worked as advertising marketer for a big agency, and I had the feeling that it was not right for me. I missed something. I always missed doing something on the product, not just analyzing data and doing marketing campaigns. I wanted to go hands-on. I wanted to put my hands on the code and optimize things and just not have to wait for other people to do it. And then I joined a startup company I think 4 or 5 years ago, and started as a product owner. So I was once again not responsible for the code directly, but for putting features on the list and develop stories so that the developers can do something about it and implement features. And again, I was not happy because I was not coding. And 3 years ago, I talked with a friend of mine. Now he's my employer, and shared my thoughts with him that I want to become a coder. I want to do more. I want to put my hobby make my hobby to my job. And he offered me a job. And now I'm working, as you said, as a full stack JavaScript, Node, React, and TypeScript developer at his company. And now I'm really, really happy because in retrospect, it was good that I studied business economics. And now I'm a software developer because I can relate to both aspects. You know, I know why I do something from the business side, and I can develop and produce it what the business side wants, and handle this in between or this both sides. And it was very, very valuable for me at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do always this question because I think it's interesting to see how we become a developer. So we each of us has a story to tell to the other people, and because developing is something which is pretty new. So we almost all of us, maybe just the youngest one, maybe they just are just developers. But most of us they started with one job, then they switched. And I think that in your case, this could be also very, very useful with your background, because
and one thing I'm really happy about is that I took the risk and changed risk. I would not tell risk is the wrong word in retrospect. It was an opportunity and I was happy to take it. But there are many business economics students who are really into software development, and because I know some of them, and they were not sure if they should take the step and go change their focus. And I don't regret it. It was one of the best things I did, because now I can develop my own software, my own tools, and put hands on and not just write stories what I want to have. That's what I like about my job.
Yeah, and I also think that to develop nowadays it's different like 20 years ago. 20 years ago we needed the people who just was real developer, HTML expert, CSS expert, JavaScript super expert. Now if we know how to use frameworks, if we know the logic behind them, we can really do. If we come from another job, we can use this. We can develop maybe the application faster.
Yeah, sure.
This is what I think, that we are going in that direction. I don't know if we will become there will be the no code thing. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that too.
Me neither. But I think that it's a good moment to start to develop. If you have, like Stefan, if you have this idea inside you that you want to get your hands dirty, you really want to understand what there is inside, to understand the real deep. I think that you made the good choice.
And I mean, one thing that I was afraid at the very beginning were all those buzzwords. I still remember when I started and I was in this meeting room and I heard, hey, there is Docker doing, because you know Docker is doing, Docker is doing this, and then I was like, who's Docker? Do we have an employee whose name is Docker? I haven't seen this guy. And at the very beginning, I'm honest, it was frustrating, because I was like, okay, I want to know everything. I need to know what is Docker, what is Kubernetes, what is, all those fancy, crazy words.
No.
And that is one thing that many people maybe struggle with, is that they think at the very beginning they need to know everything right from the start, and they are afraid they miss something. Because I had the feeling I miss something when I don't know that immediately and right from the start. But I had to realize that it's part of the journey to get those. My cat wants to play now. That I need to learn those things step by step. But it was really it was hard in the beginning to admit that you have to go step by step, and that it's not something that you can immediately learn just because you're a software developer now.
Yeah, and I think that it's easy to get lost in the beginning. I felt also lost in the beginning, because you want to understand everything at the same time. I want to understand everything, and it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard.
And frustrating, because when there is this passion inside you that you want to become a developer, it can be frustrating when you're not keep track and keep organized your way, your path to become a software developer. Because there's so much distraction, you code and do something, then there's Vue. Oh, what is Vue? Oh no, I'm still learning the basics of JavaScript or something like that. That's really important.
I know this feeling, because I felt also into that. I started to make tutorials on almost each JavaScript framework. Vue, Angular, because I think, okay, if I do every tutorial on Udemy, I'll be an expert. Yeah, I have about 80 courses on Udemy.
Really? Okay,
But
that's a lot.
Yeah, there is someone who I can't remember who is this one, but he had almost 200. I don't know
Really?
who is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that can you tell us how what have you used to learn
To
development?
learn.
Book, videos.
Yeah, I mean, I still work with one of my best friends at the company, and he helped me a lot. So one thing that put me on track or keep me going was a mentor or a coding buddy. You know, the buddy can be on the same level, or it can be a senior or someone who is really putting the mentorship or mentor for you. But that was really helpful for me because I could play ping pong with him, like, hey, I've seen this, can you explain this to me? So this direct one-on-one feedback. I also bought Udemy courses, also tried some Coursera, and of course free code camp and YouTube stuff or videos on YouTube. Yeah. But for me, the most important part was to have someone to talk to, because the thing about those tutorials and YouTube videos is it's just like in good old classrooms, the teacher presents something and there is no one you can say, hey, I have a question. You can, but it's not the same. And for me, it was really useful to have this friend of mine who helped me and put me onto the next level. So
and I think that in our world, it's full of things that maybe are easy to explain, but you can get lost very easy. So maybe if there is one expert, this is just this thing, and that's it. And if you need it really to understand by yourself, it's way harder. It happened to me, for example, that sometimes I needed to understand some concepts. Of course, if you type on Google, always please always search on Google, and you start getting articles, blog, videos. So maybe there is a lot of information. Maybe there is too much. I don't know. There is a lot. Maybe it's not what you need. Maybe you just need to understand the concepts, the basics, without getting lost.
The difficult part for me was when I watched those tutorials. I mean, there are really good teachers out there, so don't get me wrong, but many tutorials focus on a little aspect that works in this context, but doesn't work as soon as you apply it in another context. And that was also frustrating in the beginning, because I was watching tutorials like, oh, I know how this works now, and then I tried to apply it, and the use case was different, or there were other third-party dependencies or whatever that didn't match and fit the tutorial. And then I realized that just by watching the tutorials, I did not learn the main message behind the tutorial. So hands-on was really the thing that helped me a lot. Helped me the most.
Okay, so currently, what are you doing? Are you doing are you working on some project? I mean in the everyday work. Then you can talk about the side projects if you have something like that.
Currently,
what do you do every day?
In everyday work, I create React applications with Node.js backends for the Swiss publishing industry, so TV, radio, and news portals. That's what I do on my everyday job. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of closed software for the client, but that's basically what I do on my day-to-day job.
Nice. So you work on full stack. So you work on React and Node at the same time. Okay. Yeah. Do you like this? Would you like to change it, or do you like this kind of work? To work like that? Do you like
I like
this?
it. Actually, I like it a lot. Yeah.
No. Okay. So
sorry.
No, I mean, do you prefer to have a whole idea of the whole project, or maybe there is something that you like to focus more?
Yeah, I mean that's maybe from my previous roles, that I like to have the big picture and like to know where it's going. I also like to get customer feedback and to know what the customers are thinking about certain features we did. So that's important for me because I know then I can learn a lot, not from the technical perspective also, but also from, UI, UX and other stuff. So yeah, I like it a lot. And I'm also the one in the company who sets up new projects. So I'm also not afraid to get my hands on Webpack and all those bundling, compiling stuff. So yeah, that's something I also learned hands-on, and I like it now. Yeah.
No, that part is really important, the part with Webpack, because it's really the basics. The framework could change, but the basics, the bounding, that part is really, I think it's a bit underrated. Maybe I think that most of people, they focus on, there is a new framework, but behind those frameworks, there are usually the same concepts or similar concepts, which they are harder to change. So I think that
sorry?
No, go. Yeah.
In the beginning, when I started, I did not use Create React app or other Bootstrap templates because I wanted to know how I need to set up the entire project myself. Because Create React app is great, but you don't know, as you said, the underlying things that are not depend on React and stuff like that.
Yeah. I understand what you say. I did the same thing, for example, with Angular some years ago. To create from scratch, it's really important because in that case you really understand what's happening. Then of course you can automate this. We are here to automate things, but if you do something without understanding this, and if there is something very, very little to configure, you don't know what to do, and you can get stuck for days, for hours. Because maybe you don't understand that maybe you just need to configure a parameter, maybe something changed from one version to another.
I see that.
Files are important.
Yeah, I see that a lot when there's something with bundling, when there's an issue that something bundles not or whatever, that people get lost. They don't know what to do because they never took the time to invest and investigate how Webpack works. For instance, I mean, it's the same for Parcel and Rollup and all the other tools, but understanding the basics.
I totally agree with you. For example, I had to migrate an application. When you need to migrate a legacy application, you really need to understand how Webpack works. Because otherwise, you have some legacy code and you don't know how to make it work in some maybe more modern way. If you start from scratch, you do create a React app, that works. But if you have an old application, there starts the problems when you don't know how to put that legacy code into the new one.
And the cool thing. And the cool thing is when you're not afraid of tackling those tasks and getting to know Webpack, for instance, then you can also test all those new fancy Webpack features like Webpack module federation. I don't know if you heard of this new feature, but
I don't know. Then maybe not, but it's really new. Webpack 5.
Yeah, it's in. I'm not sure if it's integrated now in Webpack 5 or if it's an add-on. I think they build it on top. But it's a great thing. Do you know what it's about?
No. Please explain to me.
Yeah, basically, at least from what I understand, because I did not test it yet. I just read stuff and have seen demos. Is that you can, for instance, let's say you have a base application and you have a header that you use in multiple apps. So you can either put that into a monorepo and install it from monorepo or put it on npm.js or something like that. But with the module federation, you can create an app for the header, and the base app can import this app also from a remote. So you can put the header app onto S3 or RVS or whatever, and you can fetch the app during runtime and just couple apps together.
Okay, it's like single modules that works, and you can put those modules inside your application.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
Yeah. It looks promising, but I have not tested it.
But are they working apps? Are they working apps or just
modules?
So
no, you can also combine working apps. So one thing Zach, I think his name was Zach, when he published the demo, was the use case from A/B testing, right? You have an app and you want to A/B test only a certain part of the app. And with Module Federation, you can just import at the spot of your base app the other app and work independent. So you can create two apps and integrate the second one in the other.
And he said that. One of my best, one of the things that I like the most in programming, it's modularization. So that you have the coding that you can reuse. It's one of the best things for me. So I'll for sure I'll check this because it's really interesting for me. Because
I had to learn. Sorry. I had to learn about that too.
If you have something. Please send it to me because I want to try this because I think that when you create some code that is reusable, maybe you are going in the right way. I think it's, and also you have this the thing that works that you can hopefully reuse in the future. Years. If you do something really modular that it's little and it's working, it could be really interesting. I'm working on something like this now, so I think I'll try this.
That's great because at our company we oftentimes have the situation that, let's say again, the header or any other component, and we know we want to have this header in 3 other applications too. Then you have to think about how do you or where do you publish or host the code and make this reusable in other apps, right? Maybe this is very helpful then.
I think that for a company it's very, very important because usually in a company, as you say, maybe you have the same header, maybe you have some module that custom model. I think you can use also your custom model. Maybe
sure.
Subscribe to our newsletter. I don't know. That you can reuse this. So this is really interesting. Okay. And what about your newsletter? Because you were one of the first people that I met that started this newsletter. Are you working on this? Do you like that?
I'm still working on that, and I switched also the tools. In the beginning, I used ConvertKit. I think the name is ConvertKit. Now I'm using
ConvertKit.
Now I'm using MailerLite. I think Adrian suggested.
I'm using MailerLite too. I use MailerLite too.
And so far I like it because also when I worked at a startup, emails, or let's say when you can be part of the inbox of your customer, that's very valuable. Because that's a total different area than when you are part of their Twitter feed, right? I mean, you compete with a lot of other newsletters too, but you are in their inbox, in their right at the right spot. So I try to, or still have the newsletter. I have to say I did not really get a lot of traction, and at the very beginning I got a lot, quite a few signups, but now it's like just some signups per week, but I need to advertise it a little bit more. So, but I still do it.
I started this too, and I think that I'll use it just for people that already know me. Then maybe for some important events. Maybe exactly. I think that I sent just one. I don't know if you received this.
I think I just got one where you said, "Hey, this is my new newsletter."
I think that there were the Google developer video, or maybe not.
No, I'm not sure if you sent 2, but maybe I need to check that.
Okay. And do you have any side project? Do you also code outside of your work now, or maybe you'll do in the future?
I code a lot after work, but I I'm more the type of, I want to try that tool or that framework and have more of those hello world, or let's try, I don't know, Earthly. For 2 weeks ago I tried earthly.dev. That's something that's maybe also interesting for you, because they say they're a tool for the post Docker area. I hope I quoted their slogan correctly. I'm more the type of guy that tries to test tools. I mean, that's
post-Docker, it sounds like post-nuclear. That's like that is something that would happen.
When this happens,
there will be life after Docker. But
Yeah.
I'm sure about that.
Last man standing when Dockers go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's also the main theme of my newsletter and also the blogs. When I'm more the type of test tool. So no, I have no current ongoing side project. More like those, I want to test that. Let's see how this works and document what I learned type of guy. Yeah. But I'd love to have an ongoing side project. Yeah.
So you now are using your time to study. So you are trying new things. I think that we always need to use some time to study. I think that maybe it's even more important than side projects, because if you have side projects and you have a lot and you can't really end one, maybe it's better to use that time to study. So there was a lot of periods that I just used the time of to job to study. So I think that is not a problem to use the time to improve, because if you start a side project, of course it's important, but you need to do something with that. If you have some projects, you need to read at least to achieve an MVP, so something that it's usable.
I mean, I'm open to that, and my best friend and I, we started many things, but we quit many of them too, because either we were not happy at the end with the idea, or other things came in, as life is, you start something and sometimes it doesn't play out, or you think, nah, I don't know, maybe later.
Most of the times.
But no, I'm up for any side project, but still I like testing things in my free time.
Yeah, one of my secret dream is to do a side project with people on Twitter, because if
you said so.
If someone doesn't know this, we are doing this sort of videos with my Twitter friends. So this is a dream that I have. One day I'll send a message to all of you, and I have this.
Let's do a remote project. Yeah.
It will be very, very interesting. If we have some idea to create maybe also a very small team, maybe not too big, because Twitter we are way a lot, but to create something. I don't know, maybe something for the community of developer itself. I still don't know. I usually think a lot when I walk or run, and I also would like to talk about this in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because I've seen some very, very good picture of you running.
Thank you very much.
Your selfies when you run are really awesome.
You're still invited to visit me when this this thing is all over.
That's it. That would be awesome.
Then we can have a good coffee. I'm sure, not sure. Let's see if I can make you a good coffee.
Let's see. I planned the trip with my car to Austria, but this was cancelled because of the COVID. But it's really on the things to do. If I come to Austria, I let you know for sure.
And then we'll go hiking, and I show you some amazing views.
This is very, very interesting. And last question: do you have some? What are your future plans? So, do you have some plans for the future about development, of course, on whatever you do, whatever you want to talk about?
For one thing, I want to intensify my newsletter content and articles. So I want to write more short tutorials and things I learned on a daily basis, because I have many aha and oh, okay, cool, this is how it works moments during the week. And I want to take more time to write them down and put those notes on the internet, because maybe it helps someone out there, like it helped me, and I want to do that more. And another thing that I plan with a friend of mine is live streaming. So we're currently setting up and experimenting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want to come there. I want to come there suddenly. When?
Perfect.
When?
Yeah.
When is it gonna happen?
Currently it's in stealth mode, because we're still figuring out how to do a live code session with 2 developers. We can do.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, because with Visual Studio Code live sharing, it's easy to get him insight into my editor, but it's difficult for the other guy to see what I see, what I stream, and also the live preview thing. So we're still figuring out how to set this up, and then I'll send you a link, of course.
Now, of course, this is really interesting. I want to be the first person which comes to your live stream and says, "Oh, you don't know, you know nothing about code."
Oh no!
I want to be your first header.
Oh, you're my first troll. Oh, be my first troll, Francesco.
because otherwise someone else will do that. So
yeah.
I want to be the first one.
I will make a screenshot then and put it as a banner for a week, like, hey, I got my first troll. This is going to be a huge success.
So it's basically pair programming live streaming.
Yeah. And this, as I said, because I like to test new tools, that's going to be the main topic of the stream. Like, hey, we're going to test, I don't know, Storybook or Storyblock or earth.dev, and that's just what we're going to stream. We're going to take a tool and try to set it up and see what it's capable of, and just share this with others.
No, this is really interesting. What will you use to do that? Twitch?
Yeah, I think we're gonna stream it to Twitch. Yeah.
I've created an account, but I've still I've never done streaming yet. I think that I'll go step by step. So I start with this, then the live stream on YouTube, then we'll see.
I need to go step by step too. That's why I first have this chat with you.
Yeah. Please invite me. Yeah. And of course I'll put the link on my Twitter, and there will come a lot of people. I hope. Yeah. No, this is. I think that. As for example, Florin Pop says that in the future there will be a lot of coding session live stream, because I think that it's also very useful, because you can do something that could be interesting for you. You can do a project for yourself, but by doing a live stream, and interacting with people, you can get for example, you can get instant feedbacks. So for example, you can code an application for hours, and maybe in the end you can just get negative feedback. And I think that this could be interesting for both parts, because people that are just about to start, they see how you do the job, but of course a person who has never done a real developer could be an expert on colors or user experience. Or maybe something really which is really clear to everyone except you that you are coding. Don't put that menu over there, because it stands on the part of the main part. So I think that this is important, to have more eyes on the code.
Yeah,
always important.
Yeah, I can definitely see the benefit that Florin is mentioning here, because I mean, one thing that I'm still kind of get used to is the idea that people are looking live what I'm coding. It can be embarrassing for some. In the mind there's like this, oh no, I shared this to hundreds of people or whatever, but that's just the mindset thing. But what you said, that people are watching, give you instant feedback, that is something that triggered me and my friend to do this, because let's say I stream how to set up Webpack or an app with Webpack from scratch, and then I would love to have people that are just starting to watch and ask me questions why I do this and set up this and that, because that's what helped me and maybe help others, and that's why I wanted to do this Let's Try X live streams, because maybe there is someone out there who tried it, did not get it running or whatever, and then we can figure it out together how to get things work.
I have some ideas about that. For example, I'd like to do something that I have never seen until now, which is like trying to Dockerize an application live stream. So I have an application and I can start from scratch and to show the process. So this is one of the things that I'd like to do with all the other things. So I already have this idea, but I think that it's important to switch to live stream as soon as possible. I think Also, you improve a lot, because if you need to explain something to people, you improve really, really a lot.
Yeah, and that's something I definitely want to learn. This let's explain something and help others. Yeah. Because that's a skill that's underrated for some developer, or underrated because, as you said, when you can explain it, you learn a lot for yourself, and by helping others, you feel good. So
I think this is really a key concept of programming, but also other things that you need to understand something. You need to teach it. Even if you are not a really super expert, but to explain something also seem basic. Maybe you can help someone who has just started.
And that's what I really like about this industry, because I've seen both industries because I have different backgrounds, and what I really love about the software developer or software engineering industry is that people are willing to help each other no matter where they work. So it's not even that competitors, there are still people helping each other, even if they compete on the market, but in their free time or via live stream, whatever, they help each other. And I mean, the entire open source world, people are investing their free time to give you feedback for your code. And that's amazing. I mean, let's think about that for a second. In the advertising industry, you would not put your advertising strategy online and get some feedback from some random guys.
It's more closable. But for example, things like GitHub would never exist if the developer would never upload something.
Think of GitHub for advertisers. That would be kind of strange, or I don't know.
Maybe people are trying to steal just to steal things. I don't know. We also use other things, but I think that it's always you get something, then you post something else. This is what really makes the developer community really friendly. This is what makes us strong, I think. And it helps us. I mean, it helps all of us. If you try an open source software tool and you find a bug, don't be just angry and say nothing. Open an issue, document the issues you had, and there is someone that will help you. And by telling people more about the bugs and helping them to find the bugs, you make the software better, not just for you, but for everybody. And that's what I really like about this attitude. I don't know if you know Matteo Collina. He's a Node.js maintainer. He's a Node.js maintainer. Sometimes he tweets about, people just say, this doesn't work, please fix it. They never. It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard. Sure.
To understand the effort that people put to give you something that you can use.
I mean, writing a valuable and meaningful issue is a skill on its own. As you said, you cannot just open an issue and say, hey, this does not work, fix it, please. You have to add context, examples, and even a demo repo.
Or just say, just fix it, or I'll change the product. You will lose a client.
Yeah, and don't create a pull request with just a comment. Hey, I want to have a Hacktoberfest T-shirt. That's not gonna work.
That was really crazy. What happened?
But yeah, that's and it's also cool that you can scan and read those open source software code. That helped me a lot too. Check out the code, see how they did it, see if I can improve it in my apps. That's maybe also an underrated thing when you start learning to code, because we talked about Udemy and YouTube. But going to GitHub and just check out some code and see how it works, how they do stuff, is also very valuable at the beginning.
For example, do you know that Docker started like this? It was an open source project on GitHub
I know.
By a company in 2013 that they uploaded this open source project. And then they changed the name of the company around Docker, because I think that after some time, people from Red Hat and Microsoft, they came to help them, and in quite a few months or small periods, they were more than actually the company.
Yeah.
So but then this started from an open source project, for example. So if you have a good idea plus open source project, this will be really interesting, because it's also business now. So
sure.
Very big business,
Yeah, sure. And it's your portfolio. Don't underestimate the power of your GitHub portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, that's I mean, these days you would not even need to have a fancy own website. You can host your content on Hashnode. By the way, they're on Product Hunt today.
This is what I did.
I voted too. And
sometimes you just need maybe some links, some newsletter. For example, I find it very, very useful to have just a page on Hashnode when you put your social links, for example. When people say, "Oh, where can I find you?" Now I'll send them just the page of Hashnode with just the social links, and it works. The newsletter, of course, also is another page. I don't know if you did like that.
Yeah, I embedded the sign up widget in every article, but I have to create a dedicated page for that too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I did exactly the same. I just created a page called newsletter, and just inside the. I found Hashnode really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's super flexible and everything.
Really I've just published one article which went pretty well, but I think that I needed to post something else there. And have you published some articles on Hashnode too?
I mean, for every newsletter, there's going to be an article on Hashnode. So whenever you get an email, there's also an article on Hashnode. So I do it. But as I said, I want to improve and write more, because that's what I learned from Katalin and everybody else. Right.
We need to keep going. I think that to being a content creator, it's really addictive. I found this really addictive, that in the beginning it's strange. For example, I started just in February to create I think that I wrote the first article of my life in February. Before I just studying, teaching by myself, but I had not this content creator mindset. I've switched to this. It still is strange for me, just like making videos, video calls.
It looks so supernatural, man.
You were the first one which I did a video call.
Oh, that's great.
But I also think that if you get out of your comfort zone, if you try something new,
there are many. There are many great opportunities outside your comfort zone. You just need to look above the fence, and you will see so many great new opportunities.
I like this one. I stole this in a Twitter. I write this
Perfect.
down. I quote you in the end. Okay. So do you had lunch, Stefan? I don't want to take too much of time. I don't know what's the time here. It's 2 p.m. I think that I don't know if do you want to say something? For example, I'd like to know if do you have something that your newsletter here?
I saw it.
Can you see?
Yeah. I thought, I know this face in the background.
I love that face.
Oh, thank you.
It's also very good for memes when you watch on one
Yeah.
side. If I put your face.
Oh, you know the one with Ellie. Oh, damn.
Yeah, and Raf said something about
Yeah.
that.
Sorry, Ellie.
He was brave enough to say which.
Damn, why did I say this? Now people gonna look it up.
And you were not married still.
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah.
No, what I want to say, stay awesome and
and also where people can find you. So Ashnode.
They can find me on Hashnode, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Yeah,
and on Twitch soon.
Soon.
Very soon. Okay.
You're gonna be the first one who will know it.
I'll be the first one for sure.
Yeah.
As soon as I see the link, I come there.
Yeah.
I think,
it was awesome.
Sometimes I think that we need at least 3 lives. One to watch the content of others, one to create contents, and one for everything else. At least three, because sometimes if you one problem that I found that if you start creating content, it's very hard to watch other contents. The content
sure.
Others. It's hard because we only have 24 hours. If you start, sometimes it's hard. You need to switch to find some time, at least for people that you know. Sometimes it's hard to watch even content of you and other friends.
I mean that's I mean, interesting that you say it. It's surprising to me how many of the huge Twitter content creators handle this. As you said, you can only do once at a time, and it looks like that many of the Twitter guys and Twitter women, they do things simultaneously, and everything looks like perfect and works, and it's a skill on its own.
I think that we need some practice to achieve that result. You need to create the content. I think really fast. I talked with Adrian. For example, I asked Adrian, do you ever do maybe some multiple videos at a time? And he said, no, I just think one video, I do that video and I publish. And then another one, and then another one.
But that's great.
He's really a killer machine on videos. Yes, but I wanted to understand if maybe you multitask, maybe you do 3-4 videos at a time that you think, but no, he's like JavaScript. He's mono-thread and fast.
And the single responsibility, that's what I wanted to say too. Just one responsibility, in this case the video at a time.
This is what works, because sometimes we underestimate that to switch to something else you need some time. It's like for CPU, it's like for operating system.
And
to switch to another context, you need some maybe little time. Okay, you need to maybe set up this thing. I need to get something to write.
And it takes cognitive load. That's the thing. It takes brain power, as you said, to switch between the tasks. It's not frictionless.
I think that one skill that maybe that I also need to work on this, that to focus on one thing, do that thing. I love this kind of videos because I can just do this call with you, with other hours on people that I already know. And then I can publish and then move on. So I love, for example, this format, but everything that you can just do and publish to help others, this really works because you keep going. you keep, for example, now I'm trying to set up the lights, the microphone, for example, is set, so it's easier for me. So yeah. And I love you to have you again in the future.
Sure.
When there is something important that you want to launch, when you have something interesting things, you can always send a message to me. Yeah.
I'd love to.
Stefan, yeah. So Stefan, thank you again. Thank you for your time, for your knowledge. Every time that I do this kind of calls, I understand something new, because sometimes we don't have time to just say, oh, what are you doing? What are you working on? For example, the Webpack thing, I didn't even know that you were so focused on this part. So I think it is also important to see other parts of other friends, to see what do they like, what do they do. Yeah, I think this is really, really important. I think that I'll keep going on this. Thank you again. Thank you again, Stefan. Okay, and see you next time. Thank you everyone for being here. And okay.
Bye.